Hello, welcome to Computer Applications. This is a fast-paced course all about how to use Microsoft Office 2016. We do Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access. So the reason for this video is just to kind of go over how the course itself is laid out and to make sure you understand what the assignments are. Because in addition to using Blackboard, we also use Cengage, which is our textbook, and via that textbook we also use MindTap, which is a lab. Most of the times it's a simulation, although sometimes you actually download some files, which I'm going to show you. So I just want to go over the basics. The first thing is the Start Here page has a lot of information. You do have some Blackboard discussions that you do, which if you don't know how to use Blackboard, you can certainly watch that video. And as you scroll down, when you get here to the link to the Cengage textbook, this is the actual link that you select, and a pop-up window will come up, which means that you have to make sure that you are allowing pop-up through your browser, your internet browser. And mine's going to look a little different because it is the professor version. But one thing you always want to do is make sure you maximize the screen so that you can see everything, because later on we'll notice that you're going to have to download files, and if you don't have that screen maximized, it won't allow you to download them. So this is where you would go. The first time you go, it's not going to look like this. It's going to make you set up a Cengage account. And I'm actually going to close that. It's going to make you set up a Cengage account, and then it'll automatically link you to our course. But you have to do it through that link here, or else if you go directly to Cengage website through a browser window, it won't bring you to my course. So that's why you want to use this link. The other thing is this is a great video, a link to a video about how to use MindTap, and it goes into the exams we're doing, it goes into the projects, all that stuff. So you'll want to watch that to get a good understanding. The other thing is if you want a quick startup guide, you can click on this, and it'll bring you to a website page that quickly tells you what to do. And on that note, let's take a look at what these icons in Blackboard mean. So when you see this, it's just an item that we're looking at. There's nothing to click on. This means it's a video, and as you can see, it says watch video. As we scroll down, this is a link, and as I hover over it, I can see it's a hyperlink, meaning it'll take me to another page within the site. When you see this is the icon that actually means there's a link to the Cengage textbook. And when you see this icon with the globe, that means it's a link to an internet or a website. So if I click there, see, it brings me in a new window to a website page. And this is also just some information about how to use MindTap. So make sure you review that. This student data files, this is if while you're doing your reading, you want to actually do the activities. This is the link to those data files. It is not required for the course, but if you want to, you may. Cengage Technical Support, another really important link to know about. This takes you to Cengage Learning, where you can put in an issue that you're having, and they'll get back to you to explain how it can be fixed or what's wrong with it, if anything. So those are some important links. As we scroll down, we see a folder file. This means that when you click on that link, it's going to take you to some more information. If you notice up here, this is always what we call breadcrumbs. It always has where you are in the site. And so here we can see we're on the course etiquette page under Start Here. So I just wanted to go over that briefly. One of the most important sections is the help section, the help page. So when you click on that, here's some information. This icon means there's a learning module. So again, you can tell it's a hyperlink. You click it, and it actually brings you to, it's like a book basically, and it has a ton of tables of contents. Everyone should most definitely be reading the Office 2016 page. So I'm going to go back to help, and as I scroll down, I can see this means it's a link to the website, and this is another learning module. So I'm going to click that, And when I do that, there's a ton of different videos I've put together to you about specific things that might be helpful for you. And also on the help page is the troubleshooting, because there's going to be issues. And so one of the things you always want to make sure is that you're using Chrome or Firefox, because that's the internet browser that Cengage works best in. It is a cloud-based program, meaning it is on the internet, so it's not something you download to your desktop. And so part of it to work properly is it does best on Chrome or Firefox, so not Internet Explorer, not Safari. Did you allow pop-ups? If you don't know how to do that, I gave you a link to how to allow pop-ups. And the next thing is, if you do have some issues, it always helps to close and open up the browser again, logging back in, attempting again. If you still are having problems, you'll want to contact the Cengage Technical Help. Here is the link again. And also, please email me a description of your problems. And because we're not able to talk face-to-face, it's really important that your description of the problem be very thorough, even if you seem like it's too much. And please make sure you reread it to make sure it makes sense. All right, so let's talk about coursework. So when we go into coursework, here's our first week. Again, I gave you a shortcut. This is a shortcut link back to that help page. Here's some information about when things are due. You can always improve your grades, so keep that in mind. Highest score will always be used. And let's go into, let's say, the first week. And when we go into that course, here I can see that these are just items, so it's just listing the information. They're not hyperlinks, nothing like that. But here, this is a hyperlink that's going to take me to the syllabus. This is a quiz that you're going to take. This means it's an internet browser, so a window will pop up. Again, this is Cengage. This is a video. And here, the folder, so I always want to make sure I click on everything. If I see a folder, I want to click on a folder, and I want to go in, and then I can actually see that there's more stuff here. There's some videos, there's a web page I'm supposed to click on and read. And here, this means that it's an assignment. And when I click on that assignment, I can, again, read the assignment information, and I will write the submission inside the assignment. Okay, you can also type it in Word and attach the file, which would be fine as well. But this is where you're going to write it. Do not write your assignment in the add comments. Okay, so let me just, oops, I can save a draft. Didn't mean to do that. So let me just show you that one more time. Here's the assignment. You click on it. This is where I'm going to write it. Do not write your answers in the comments. Do not. You do right here, text submission under assignment submission, and you click write submission, and this is where you can write it. Okay, so that's a Blackboard assignment. So now let's go to, this is the reading. So when I click here, it brings me, and this will happen after you've registered with Cengage, it'll automatically bring you to the assignment you're supposed to do. So this is reading, and here's the table of contents. I can hit the arrow. Here you have some different options. You can make the sizes big. You can print it out if you want. It can talk it to you. The thing with reading the book is I want you to read it. As you're reading through it, it's going to talk about, there's going to be vocabulary. Make sure you're definitely reading those paragraphs with vocabulary mentioned. When it gets to, and you'll see here, it's again giving you vocabulary. It's talking about the mouse. Oops, sorry, I hit one note on the side there. Let me go back into it. So when it's giving you the vocabulary, those are the pages you want to read. And at some point, it's actually going to start talking about exercises, and it'll say things like, follow these steps. If you'd like to, you can do that on your own. It is not an assignment. That's if you want extra practice doing this, you can do that. What I want you doing is reading so you get a sense of what the vocabulary words are. You don't actually have to do the activities because you will be doing the activities through the training, which we'll talk about in a second. Let's say you want to look up something. We have a search button. Let's say we want to look up what the meaning of application is. We do search. It'll bring up all the pages that have it. When you click on it, it'll bring you to that page, and then you can read what it is. There's some other things that you can use. If you go back to that video from the Start Here page, which was the Getting Started in MindTap, it'll explain how to use all those. So that's basically what you do with the reading. Okay. The mix means when you click that, it's going to be a video that you can watch. Okay. And I can watch that video. Sometimes at the end of the videos or sometimes at the end of the reading, it'll say like, here's some activities to do or here's some questions. Again, you do not have to answer those. Here is a training. So Office 2016 Windows 10 training. And so when I go into that, it'll take me to the training. This is not for a grade, but this is for you to practice. And when I say start, it actually brings me to a simulation of what it's like to be in Word. And there's a series of tasks. So as you can see, as this is loading, it has one of 24 tasks. And so my suggestion is if you're not familiar with Windows if you're not familiar with Office at all, you'll want to do the introduction, which will have you read, which is very similar to your reading. Then you can do the Observe, which will be a video.
In File Explorer, right-click the Glacier Franchise Owner's file.
And you'll actually do, you will end up doing what I'm telling you to.
On the shortcut menu, click Rename.
But right now, this is just, you're observing it. You can also do Practice.
In File Explorer, right-click the Glacier Franchise Owner's file.
Which you'll actually do yourself.
On the shortcut menu, click Rename.
Okay. Or you can do the Apply, which it'll just give you the tasks, and then you just go ahead and do them without being shown what to do. So you don't have to do each of these. You can figure out the groove that works for you. Most people that are fairly familiar with Office will just skip right to the Practice and then do the Apply. The Apply is actually where, once you do it, then it'll let me complete the task, and I'll move forward to the next task. Trainings are for practice. They are not part of your grade, okay? But when I come down here, this exam, the exam is basically all the tasks you just practiced in the training are now the exam. And this is what you're getting a grade on. Okay, so I say Start. And you'll see one of 19 tasks. So I have 19 things I have to show I can do. As you can see, there's no more hints on the side there. I just have to do what the tasks are telling me. The thing about it is, once you begin, you cannot stop and restart it. Your exam receives a score whether or not you complete all the questions. So you'll want to make sure you give yourself time to actually start the exam and finish it. That is for a grade. If you don't like your grade in the end, you can redo it as many times as you want until you get a score you like. So that's the exams. And then lastly, we're going to have to move into the word processing one, I believe. Here. So we have reading. See module where you read. There are activities you can complete. This is not for a grade. You do not have to. The mix, you can watch a video. The observe, practice, and training, that is the training where we just saw that has all the tasks. You can learn how to use it that way, or you can skip right to the exam. This is the first thing that will be for a grade. Make sure you give yourself time to finish it. And then the project, which we're going to click on the project. So a project is where you're going to prove that you've learned these skills you're supposed to, and work on the project in the actual desktop version of whatever application we're in. So this is Word. You'll see that it says download instructions. I hit download. And notice that I did download something, right? But because I didn't have the full screen, see how it was hiding? So I download the instructions. The instructions are going to tell me step by step what I have to do. When I go back to this, it says Start Files. I'm going to save these two files, and I'm going to follow the directions. And I know one of the things is that When you go to upload this back into here, once you're done, you're going to follow the directions, you're going to make the changes to these documents in the desktop version of Word. And then when you're done and you've completed all the steps, so in this one, it's going to look like this when you're done, I will come back here and I will upload the document. The thing is that this is the document name it's looking for. So make sure you've named it correctly, and it will tell you that in the directions. It says what to save it as. And just make sure, now let me show you. Actually, let me open up the document. So here's the document I'm going to start with. And right away, the first direction says to rename it as this. So using my name with an _2 at the end. Okay. So I'm going to go there and see how it's my name _1. So instead I will be save as, and I'm going to save it wherever I save my documents. So I want to make sure I've, create a file folder somewhere that says class, CAP 101 or whatever. And then when I go to save it, I'm going to put a 2. Now, just I want to point out, because some people get confused by this, see, named it 2, okay? Don't actually put the extension name when you're saving it. The computer will automatically add the file extension, so you don't actually put that, okay? So once I've made all the changes as the direction says to, I hit save. I come back here, I'm going to choose my file, and then I'll just go to upload it. And I will submit it. And then it will say it's submitted, it'll give me a grade. If I don't like my grade, again, I can do it again. So that's the beauty of that. So that is basically all the different assignments you have. So you'll read things. You don't have to complete these activities. They are not for a grade. You can watch a video. You can do the training. If you're really skilled at Office, you can skip the training and go right to the exam. And then we have projects. In addition to the MindTap assignments, you will also have some Blackboard assignments. And again, those are in the folder. And you'll see them as a pencil and a ruler. And then you will also have the discussion modules that you need to do. And I hope that gives you a good orientation to the course and what's expected of you. Good luck.